Good morning, America. Breaking news, no deal after marathon talks between the United States and Iran.
And I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America.
Vice President Vance, who led the American delegation, facing the cameras at the end of 21 hours at the negotiating table. The fragile ceasefire now in doubt. Team coverage in Washington and from the region.
Disturbing allegations. A source telling ABC News the New York DA is now investigating the top Democrat in the race for California governor, Congressman Eric Swalwell, after several women accuse him of sexual assault and misconduct.
These allegations of sexual assault are flat false.
Some Democrats calling for him to resign from Congress.
Slashing attack at one of New York City's busiest subway stations. 3 people injured.
The individual was armed with a large knife, described as a machete, and was behaving erratically.
Police taking him down.
Reflections on space. Artemis II astronauts speaking publicly for the first time since their return to Earth.
Doing what we did and being with who I was with, it's too big to just be in one body.
How the mission moved them and the moments they'll never forget.
Baggage fee breakdown. The latest airlines to raise the cost of checking your luggage, how much extra you'll pay, and the ways you can save some cash.
And tied at the top, Rory McIlroy blows a commanding lead into the final round of the Masters, now sharing the leaderboard with an American. Plus, the countdown to the NBA playoffs. We'll look ahead to the postseason as the regular season ends tonight.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Sunday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. We're getting into the groove on this.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Right? Yeah, it's good to have Rachel with us here. We have a lot to cover, a lot happening overnight. For the first time since they returned home, we are hearing from the astronauts who made that historic trip around the moon. We'll have their emotional homecoming and what they said about how the experience has given them a new perspective on our planet.
Their message is so powerful. Yeah. Back here in New York City, we will have the latest. The mayor is promising a full investigation into a horrifying attack on the New York subway. Authorities say a man slashed 3 people with a machete. Officers stepped in and shot the man. We'll have more on that in just a moment.
But first, we do begin here with that breaking news, that breakdown in negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. Vice President J.D. Vance leading the U.S. delegation in ceasefire talks with top Iranian leaders. It's the highest level of contact between the two sides in more than a decade. We have team coverage, of course, beginning with ABC's Alex Perche, who is following the developments now from Washington. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Gio. And marathon negotiations is right. These negotiations between the U.S. and Iran lasted 21 hours. And while both sides say there was progress, at the end of it, no deal. This morning, after 21 hours of high-stakes talks to end the war between Iran and the U.S., Vice President J.D. Vance says there's no deal.
The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. So we go back to the United States having not come to an agreement.
The vice president not answering where negotiations deteriorated, but he did say the U.S. needs Iran to confirm they will not develop a nuclear weapon.
The simple fact is that we need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon, and they will not seek the tools that would enable them to quickly achieve a nuclear weapon. That is the core goal of the President of the United States.
Overnight, a spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry telling local media that the U.S. and Iran had reached an understanding on a number of issues, but there were differences in 2 or 3 important issues, adding that no one expected an agreement to be reached within one meeting. The White House is demanding Iran turn over its stockpile of enriched uranium and end its ballistic missile program, its support for terror groups, and its threats to stop free passage of ships in the critical Strait of Hormuz, where 1/5 of the global oil supply flows. It's unclear how a lack of an agreement will impact that critical shipping channel. This weekend, the U.S. Navy announcing 2 U.S. destroyers passed through the strait for the first time since the war started, and new data shows a total of 11 vessels crossed the strait Saturday, including 3 oil tankers. For its part, Iran is pushing for the release of billions in frozen assets, an end to Israeli attacks against Iran-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon, and security guarantees against future attacks. The vice president, special envoy Steve Witkoff, and the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner led the U.S. delegation in this trilateral with Iran and Pakistan in Islamabad. U.S. and Iranian leaders engaged in marathon negotiations at a highly secured luxury hotel, the highest level face-to-face meetings between the two nations in 47 years. President Trump appearing nonchalant about a deal late Saturday.
Whether we make a deal or not makes no difference to me.
And the president saying that before taking off to watch a UFC fight in Miami while these negotiations were ongoing. Now, Pakistan's foreign minister is encouraging the U.S. and Iran to continue talks, saying that his country will offer to facilitate that dialogue in the days to come. Rachel?
All right, and no relief yet for Americans that are seeing these high gas prices as this war enters its 7th week. All right, Alex, thank you. With no breakthrough in these talks, the rest of the region is anxiously waiting to hear what comes next. ABC's Marcus Moore joins us now from Beirut. Good morning, Marcus.
Well, Rachel, good morning. We are at another blast site in central Beirut. This was a parking lot for cars, and there was a storage facility right next to it. And witnesses tell us that on Wednesday it was hit without warning, and the blast causing catastrophic damage in this entire block here. You can see the massive holes in the buildings, and also look at these cars here. Crumpled and burned down. We were told that there were a number of deaths here and that they are still searching for some of the missing in the midst of the rubble in parts of this city. And throughout much of this war, the Israeli airstrikes have targeted the southern part of Beirut, seen as a Hezbollah stronghold, as well as southern Lebanon. But Wednesday marked a major shift. Israel hitting targets across the city. And there were new strikes this morning in southern Lebanon. And just this weekend alone, more than a dozen deaths reported. It follows several days of strikes on Lebanon. And all of this that we are seeing this morning here in this part of the city, the destruction, the deaths, and the search for the missing are a reminder of what is at stake for the people across this region as they've reached an impasse in Islamabad. All
right, Marcus Moore for us. We appreciate it. And for more, let's bring in our Chief Global Affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz. We'll be hosting This Week later this morning from Islamabad. Martha, it's great to have you. So the talks there lasting 21 hours, but still no peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. What are your sources telling you about what happens next?
Well, I think there's not a plan as far as we know yet. We heard Vice President Vance say this is basically the final offer, take it or leave it. We heard the Iranians say, oh, we want to come closer with the United States and them closer to us about what it is we want. But we are basically back where we were before. The nuclear deal has always been the sticking point, always, and it does not sound like they made any progress. Vice President Vance, President Trump want a promise that they will not go after a nuclear weapon. The Iranians are refusing to do that. And so far, as we said, no meetings planned. But boy, Whit, I'll tell you, this one went all night, deep into the night, 21 hours before J.D. Vance walked out.
Yeah, and speaking of the vice president, J.D. Vance, he didn't really address the Strait of Hormuz in his public comments, one of the key sticking points as well. So where do things stand now with that vital passageway?
Well, you're right. Absolutely the key sticking point. The United States, the Pentagon has said they've sent these 2 Navy destroyers in there to clear mines. That is a dangerous operation and something that is time consuming. I flew over that area yesterday. You don't really see any ships down there right now, and very, very few of them are passing. So that is a sticking point, and that is a huge problem for these negotiations and for the country.
Something to watch very closely. Martha, we appreciate it. And tune into This Week later this morning. Martha anchors from Islamabad with interviews with Republican Senator Ron Johnson, Democratic Senator Tim Kaine, and former CENTCOM Commander General Joseph Votel. Rachel?
All right, Whit, we turn now to the growing calls for Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell to end his bid for California governor. And this morning, a source telling ABC News Swalwell is facing a criminal investigation. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest. Good morning, Christian.
Rachel, good morning. The sexual assault allegations against Representative Eric Swalwell have led to major backlash from prominent Democratic colleagues on Capitol Hill to organizations that endorsed his bid for governor to senior members of his current staff who tell ABC News Swalwell went completely rogue from his team by posting a video response on social media.
This morning, a source tells ABC News the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is announcing an investigation into Congressman Eric Swalwell after allegations of sexual assault and misconduct. The Democratic representative denies the accusations, posting this video Friday night.
These allegations of sexual assault are flat, false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened, and I will fight them with everything that I have.
Swalwell is reportedly accused of varying degrees of sexual misconduct from several women, including a former staffer who says Swalwell sexually assaulted her twice. The San Francisco Chronicle published the former staffer's alleged account without identifying her. She says she was 21 years old when she interned for Swalwell's office in 2019, claiming he pursued her, sent her explicit photos, and forced himself upon her in his hotel room after a night out drinking. The Chronicle also reports the same woman claims Swalwell sexually assaulted her again after a New York City gala in 2024 when she was no longer working for him. Both incidents are identical to the account of this woman who spoke exclusively with CNN.
I was pushing him off of me, saying no.
Swalwell is also responding to other women reportedly accusing him of sending them unsolicited nude photos and explicit messages, telling CNN the allegations are false and threatening legal action. ABC News has not independently verified any of the women's accounts, and Swalwell denies all wrongdoing, criticizing the timing of the accusations with California's early voting just 3 weeks away.
They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the front-runner candidate for governor in California.
Now, top Democrats are calling on Swalwell to drop out of the race. In a statement, House leadership calls for a swift investigation. Former House Speaker and Representative Nancy Pelosi adds it is clear that is best done outside of a gubernatorial campaign.
Swalwell's attorney says he is staying in the governor's race. Even if he were to drop out, it is technically too late to withdraw his name from California's ballot. It's also too late for him to run for re-election in the House. Gio.
All right, Christian Cordero, thank you so much. We're going to turn now to the historic mission to the moon. The Artemis II astronauts are firmly back on planet Earth, and now we're hearing from them for the first time since that splashdown, what they felt, what they saw, and what's on their hearts and minds after going farther into space than any other humans. The Artemis II crew back home on planet Earth following that historic mission, speaking publicly for the first time.
I have not processed what we just did. I want to thank God again. The gratitude of seeing what we saw, doing what we did, and being with who I was with, it's too big to just be in one body.
The Orion spacecraft integrity and the team of 4 on board, traveling more than 700,000 miles, the first human trip to the moon in over 50 years.
A perfect bullseye splashdown.
Successfully splashing down Friday night and coming back to Houston Saturday.
10 days ago, this journey started with our mission manager, Sean Duvall, knocking on my door in crew quarters and whispering, "Christina, we're go for launch. Get up." And it ended last night when my nurse on the ship put me to bed and said, "Ma'am, can I get a hug?"
The astronauts all receiving their medical clearances, now reflecting on their once-in-a-lifetime journey.
It's a special thing to be a human, and it's a special thing to be on planet Earth.
And wrapping up their special appearance with this touching message.
We are a mirror reflecting you. And if you like what you see, then just look a little deeper. This is you.
Oh, gosh, I love hearing the emotion in their voices. And I want to show you what Commander Reed Weissman shared shortly after the splashdown in the Pacific. Look at this. On the helicopter, leaving the ship right now, this planet is impossibly beautiful from every altitude I've seen it. Surface to 250,000 miles. Wow.
It was so special hearing from them. I was hanging on every single word.
Truly,
yeah.
truly.
Yeah. Thank you, Gio, for that. Another story that we're following here in New York City. 3 people are recovering after a violent machete attack on a subway platform at Grand Central. Police say the suspect was killed by officers, and ABC's Rena Roy is here now with more on the investigation. Rena, good morning.
Hey, Wick, good morning to you. Yeah, as we know, at any given time, Grand Central is pretty packed with people, and police say this man just started stabbing commuters at random.
Terrifying moments unfolding at one of the world's busiest train stations.
MTA police requesting additional units to location for a male that displayed a knife.
Police say a man stabbed 3 people at Grand Central Station seemingly at random with this machete on Saturday morning. Emergency responders seen rushing to the scene, officers helping the injured.
The individual was armed with a large knife, described as a machete, and was behaving erratically, repeatedly stating that he was Lucifer.
Authorities identifying the suspect as 44-year-old Anthony Griffin, saying his slashing rampage spanned multiple subway platforms, attacking two men, 84 and 65 years old, plus a 70-year-old woman. Police say detectives ordered Griffin to drop his knife about 20 times before they say he advanced toward them with the blade. Officers responding with gunfire.
Gave clear commands. They attempted to de-escalate, and when that threat did not stop, they took decisive action to stop it.
Griffin shot twice and pronounced dead. As for the victims, officials say their wounds are severe, but they're expected to be all right.
Now, the NYPD has been ramping up police presence across the New York City subway system, and city data does show a drop in transit crime overall. Guys,
we're so happy those victims are going to be okay.
Just so scary.
Terrifying. Rena, thank you. All right, we turn now to the American man, Brian Hooker, in custody in the Bahamas and waiting to hear if he will be charged in his wife's disappearance. ABC's Morgan Norwood is here with the latest. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning to you. Yeah, this case is now in a critical stretch, and we could soon know whether authorities in the Bahamas will charge Brian Hooker, release him, or they could ask for more time. Of course, this comes as they continue to pore over evidence to determine whether he played a role in his wife Lynette's disappearance. Now, police questioning him for 3 hours behind bars on Friday, with his attorney saying that investigators pressed him on everything from the couple's personal life to their marriage, loved ones, including Lynette's own mother, describing a far more troubled relationship than the one seen here in the couple's sailing videos online. It has now been a week, though, since Lynette vanished. Brian Hooker maintains that she fell overboard, telling police it happened when their small boat hit rough surf. But Lynette's own daughter is also questioning that version of events, saying that her mom was a pretty strong swimmer. But as police continue to investigate this, still no sign of her. And by tomorrow evening, authorities must decide whether to charge Brian Hooker, release him, or they could hold him as they continue to look into this. Gio?
Yeah, so many questions. All right, Morgan, thank you for that.
This morning, all eyes are on Augusta, Georgia, where Rory McIlroy had a commanding lead, but now some late drama as we head into today's final round of the Masters. ABC's Ika Jachi is here now and reminding us all it's Green Jacket Sunday, right, isn't it?
Get your finest
Dress for the occasion.
Yeah. Dress for the job you want, but you're never going to get. That's true. Listen, Rory McIlroy, he wakes up this morning still tied for the lead at Augusta, but the way he got here, that's the story. After building a record 6-shot cushion through 36 holes, the defending Masters champion gave almost all of it back on a wild Saturday that turned into a historic stumble. A double bogey at 11, more trouble at 12, and another bogey coming home turned what looked like a coronation into an anxious grind. And now, McIlroy has to prove he can steady himself with the green jacket actually on the line today. Standing right next to him at the top is Cameron Young, who's completely flipped this tournament. He opened with the 73 on Thursday and was 8 shots behind Rory at one point, but over his last 36 holes, he's caught fire, ripping off a 65 on Saturday to erase that deficit and get to 11 under. Now, Young has already won the Players this year. He's been almost flawless for his last 29 holes, and he's heading into the final round with the kind of calm, nothing to lose swag you want when you're staring down McIlroy in the last group at Augusta. And it's not just a two-man show. The chasing pack is loaded. Major winners like Sam Burns, Shane Lowry, and Jason Day, they're all within striking distance at just a couple or a few shots back. And history says Augusta loves a late charge from that second or third to last group. 6 of the last 10 majors have been won by players ranked in the top 3 in the world, which keeps McIlroy and Young front and center. Listen, it's a great day for golf. The green jackets are on the line. We're going to see if Rory can hold on.
You can't win it. You can always buy your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you play golf?
I haven't swung a club in my...
Oh, okay. So you really have no chance.
No chance.
All right, thank you so much.
It's going to be exciting.
But he's honest.
Today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. All right, still ahead here. The NBA regular season ends tonight. We're going to tell you about the must-win games to watch and the preview the postseason here with Malika Andrews. She's here.
Plus, can the higher dose of a flu shot offer protection against Alzheimer's? Dr. Sutton is here to break it all down.
And get ready to pack some more cash if you plan on checking your bags. The latest airlines to raise those fees. More GMA after this.
Said there's another look right in my eyes. My first love broke my heart for the first time, and I was like, baby, baby, baby.
Oh, we're dancing, we're grooving, all the things with the Biebs. Welcome back to GMA. Of course, Justin Bieber right there, headlining day 2 of Coachella. The Biebs making it back with the Wayback Machine and performing his first ever single and big hit, Baby, from back in 2010. He was just 15 at the time. That's why the voice sounds different, right? Yeah. Coachella is happening today and next weekend with even more big acts.
I wonder if he likes being called the Biebs.
I know. I feel like he probably. That's a good question.
Let's ask him next time.
Maybe he did when he was 15.
You and him are best friends,
what do you
the
like?
Biebs. All right. Now we're going to take a look at some other big stories that we are following this Sunday morning, including some breaking news overnight. Multiple people were injured when masked gunmen burst into a New Jersey Chick-fil-A and opened fire. Police have locked down the restaurant for the investigation. The father of one of the workers came to the scene calling it a war zone. No word yet on the search for those suspects.
And Pope Leo, in his strongest words yet on the war in Iran, condemning what he called the delusion of omnipotence and the military actions that, quote, some adults proudly boast about. The first American pope speaking during a prayer vigil at St. Peter's Basilica did not mention President Trump by name in his appeal for peace.
And we are seeing stunning new images of the latest eruption of Hawaii's Kilauea volcano. Look at that right there, the 44th episode of explosive lava happening Thursday with streams reaching more than 500 feet high. The National Weather Service reported a smoke plume reaching 10,000 feet.
The University of Michigan celebrating its men's NCAA national championship with the iconic parade, of course, cheered on by thousands of students and fans, decked out in the team's colors. The team made their way through Ann Arbor's campus. Michigan beat UConn last week for the title, the first championship for the Wolverines in 37 years. Good for them.
Oh, congratulations.
My brackets went nowhere this year,
they sure
but I did
did.
have Michigan going far, so good for them. All right, let's get to NBA playoffs now. The regular season ends tonight with some postseason matchups still to be determined. Malika Andrews, host of NBA Today and NBA Countdown on ESPN, is here to break it all down. We did, by the way, see you singing to Justin Bieber earlier, by the way.
If I could sing, y'all wouldn't be able to tell me.
You
I
call
would
him
be
the
out here
Biebs, right?
doing the whole.
Yeah, he's the Biebs.
As a close and personal friend.
Yeah, definitely. The Biebs it is. So let's talk about basketball here. It's great to have you here in person. And we've got the big matchups happening.
Yep.
So who needs to win today?
Well, all 30 teams are in action today. Let's start in the Western Conference. There's two things that are up for grabs, and I'm looking at you here, Rachel. Your Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. They are duking it out for seeding in the 3 and 4 spot. That's the West. In the East, it's chaos. Seeds 5 through 10, they are all up for grabs here, right? And so as I was walking into studio today, I had my gentleman friend who was out, who was walking around. He said, hey, how about my Knicks? And I said, well, your Knicks are locked into the 3 seed, but depending on the way things go today, they could be facing, most likely, the Raptors, but they still have a chance of facing the Magic. They could be facing Philadelphia. They could be facing Toronto. They could be facing any one of those teams. So all of that still has to be sorted today, and that's why we play the games.
Yeah, right.
And there's a lot of stars, but they all may not make it to round 1.
Yeah, this is kind of the unfortunate part, right, of the postseason. Health dictates so much. And Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves for the Los Angeles Lakers, there is no team that is facing more injuries right now than LA. And it's a bummer because your squad was looking really good up until a couple of weeks ago. They were really this close, but it's not likely that we're going to see either one of those guys in the first round.
Which player do you think is going to surprise us the most in the postseason?
All right. It's Victor Wembanyama, right? And everything he does is mesmerizing. I can't say it's surprising, but every time he's on the court, he shows us something that has literally never been done before. And the man is 7'5" doing these sorts of things. It's absolutely amazing. Now, the thing about the playoffs is oftentimes you need experience in order to be successful. And Victor's trying to lead a San Antonio Spurs team that's never been there before into a deep playoff run. So I think they could surprise us.
We got a little more time. What other surprises do you think that we should be looking out for as we approach the playoffs?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, when we're looking at surprises, maybe since you and I are from the Bay Area, you can never count out the Golden State Warriors, right? And Steph Curry, he's had an injury-riddled season. He's saying some of it was just age catching up with him a little bit here, but finally he's healthy. And so are they going to be able to work their way from the 10 seed in the play-in all the way into the postseason? You never count out Steph Curry, right?
Okay.
All right,
We'll be watching.
It's so great to have you.
So
with us.
good.
It's like a little
Yes.
party. I know. I was so
right?
excited when I saw you in makeup this morning. So good to have you here,
Made my
friend.
day at 7 a.m.
Best way to start the day. This morning, we are learning more about how a simple flu shot may offer protection against Alzheimer's disease. ABC's medical correspondent, Dr. Darian Sutton, is here to break this all down for us. So what does this study say?
Good morning. So the big question here in this study is, does the type of flu shot that you get affect your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease? And they compare two common types, the standard dose and the high dose that we give to adults over the age of 65 during the flu season. And they found that older adults over 65 who got the high dose vaccine, that was associated with a 10 to 20% reduction in the risk of Alzheimer's disease. And that protective effect lasted for about 2 to 2.5 years after that vaccination. Now, on an individual perspective, these are marginal benefits at best, although statistically significant. But if you think about it, guys, over the population, millions of Americans getting their vaccine, older adults encouraged to get it, that potentially means thousands of fewer cases of dementia every year.
But I think this begs the question, how is the flu even related to Alzheimer's?
This is such an important question. When you think about Alzheimer's disease, it's difficult to understand how that can be related to an infection. This study shows an association, right? So it shows that getting your flu shot is associated with a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. It doesn't define a cause and effect. But Gio, we do know that flu infections cause widespread inflammation in the body. That's the basis for complications of the flu. For example, flu encephalitis, we see it every year. It also causes brain degradation. And so that's the basis there. And also in terms of getting the high dose flu shot, many people will say, should I get it even though I'm not over 65? But based on the best available evidence, that added benefit only comes after 65 because our immune systems fade with time or get weaker with time. So it's more compensating rather than adding.
It really is fascinating, though, but have any studies actually looked at the correlation between these annual vaccines and Alzheimer's disease?
A great question again. So actually, yes, and it's continued to be studied. When you look at the standard dose benefit, studies show that you can have a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease if you get your standard flu shot, anywhere from 17 to up to 40% of reduction. But so important here, we have some things on your screen that you should pay close attention to, because up to 45% of cases of dementia are deemed preventable by things that we can control in our everyday life. Exercise, high quality diet, minimizing highly processed foods, getting consistent quality sleep, and the top one, controlling and most importantly, checking your blood pressure. 1 in 2 Americans have high blood pressure. Only 25% have it under control. That is a strong risk factor. Remember, protecting your body is also protecting your brain.
You said 45% preventable?
Yeah. Up to 45% of cases of dementia are preventable, and we're learning every day it's not something that you just get. Although there are genetic risk factors, there are things that we can do every day in our life that reduce our risk.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's extraordinary. Okay, let's talk about some of the limitations with this study.
Yeah, so this study, it got that data by using insurance claims. Now, that is not representative of the entire population because not everyone has access to quality care. And so there are some missing variables in here, but Rachel, it adds to that growing data and evidence that shows, again, protecting your body, doing these changes in your life, and making sure that you're getting that high quality diet, getting that exercise, making sure you're getting that sleep, and getting your appropriate vaccinations to reduce your risk of complications of infections. All of these add to reducing your risk later in life. Again, you want to treat your body like a home you have to live in for the rest of your life, and that's the best way you want to take care of it.
Yeah. Really, really fascinating conversation. And anyone who's following you on social media knows, by the way, you've been recovering. You're doing really well with your leg.
I'm learning how to be a patient.
Yeah, that's right. The crutches are off to the side.
Yeah. We hit them well.
Yeah. All right, Darren, thank you so much. Coming up here on Good Morning America, how flying is costing you more, and it's not just the airfare. Stick around. Okay, we're back now on GMA. With flying, it is getting more expensive, unfortunately. Airlines are slapping increased fees on passengers. Morgan Norwood is here looking at all of it. What do you find?
Hey, good morning to you. Well, airlines are raising fees and, get this, guys, bagging more of your, y'all were supposed to laugh. Bagging more of your money in the process. Let me try this again. They're bagging more of your money in the process.
There it is.
We've got 4 major airlines which have now hiked checked baggage fees as jet fuel prices surge amid the war in Iran. So Alaska and Southwest Airlines are actually the latest to raise these fees. We're looking at Alaska by $5 to $45 for the first bag, and then by $10 to $55 for the second. Southwest, they're also raising their checked bag fees by $10 to $45 and for the first bag, and then the second bag gets to $55. So kind of neck and neck there. This is a move that follows Delta, United, JetBlue, which have all raised their bag fees by at least $10. And of course, their big reason why is that jet fuel prices are up more than 70% since the start of this war. And airlines say that fuel is their biggest cost, and that bill climbs, and more of it is being passed along to us, the passengers. So let's talk about some tips, some things that you can do. If you can, stick to carry-on. I am a carry-on queen. Pack light if you can, get the packing cubes. If you can't, check your credit card perks. So Whit was just talking about that. Airline status or fare class before you book. Sometimes you can check a bag for free. Sometimes the airlines also give you a small discount if you prepay. But the bottom line, the cheapest bag right now is probably the one that you don't have to check.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about the jet fuel prices, but there's also reports of jet fuel shortages possibly.
Yeah, we're keeping a close eye on that. And if you have travel plans to Europe this summer, you probably should too. So the Airports Council Europe is warning that if things don't stabilize within the next 3 weeks or so, a significant shortage could hit the EU first. So that means European airports would feel it directly. I think tighter schedules, higher fares, the last minute changes. But U.S. flights to Europe could also be impacted if nothing else changes.
Yeah.
So the ripple effect, of course, continues there.
It is
a
a
lot to
domino
think
effect
about.
between the gas, between the airfare, everything's just going up, and we're now almost 7 weeks into this war.
I will say with the baggage fees, though, like this now means that more and more people are trying to like shove things into
Yes,
carry-on,
that is
and so
true.
that's when it's like everybody's fighting for the overhead space.
So you got to get
it's
there
like
first.
Yep,
Early.
you got to get there
Yeah.
first.
I know.
Absolutely.
All right, Morgan.
We appreciate you. Thanks, Morgan.
Now with our play of the day and a special guest who welcomed the Artemis II astronauts back to Earth. So take a look at this. Look who's looking out the window of the USS John P. Murtha there, waving during the Artemis II recovery mission. A little green alien, an inflatable one,
I
of
knew
course.
they existed. I knew it.
Social media spotted the visitor, and post just went viral. And we asked the main propulsion division officer, Mikey Gallagher, for the story behind the little alien appearance. Take a look.
Before the astronauts had landed, we had been kind of jumping and waving at some of our shipmates on board the flight deck, so the HMs and the flight crew. And then we saw the alien in the room with us and realized that would be like a really cool thing to do, to have it waving at everybody out there who was working on the mission.
But how'd the alien even get there, right? So it looks like two of the astronauts could have seen the green guy. So take a look. We got pilot Victor Glover and mission specialist there, Christina Cook. They're waving, so they clearly probably saw it. Mikey told us that seeing the splashdown of the helicopters bringing the astronauts to the ship was just the coolest thing that he's experienced in life so far. That's how cool it was. And there are so many people who watched that who agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you go all the way to space, and then you come back to Earth, and that's where you see the aliens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Here on Earth.
Yeah, nothing but dark sky and space, and then the aliens back here.
Very visible.
I'm still wondering why he was there.
Yeah.
Somebody
It's
planned
so
that.
good. I love
Hey,
that.
thank you so much for starting your day with us.
And you can watch more weekend news coverage over on ABC News Live.
Yep, Leslie, it's great to have you in New York.
you,
Rachel,
guys.
always
Yes,
great to
well,
have
good
you
to
as
be
well.
here.
Have a great day and a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.